We were born to champion the dreamers and stand with the underdogs. Because you can only succeed if you're given the opportunity to try.
Are you crying?
Yeah, no, maybe.
Okay, so we'll do we're just gonna do like a quick intro and then we just start talking story.
I get one favor fast.
Okay.
I had on Musubi from Kilcar General. Can do a naughty check real quick. Naughty check. Just fast guy, I never check. You see any naughty on my team?
No, you're good.
No, you're good.
Okay. I forgot the naughty check.
Hey, I was just saying, like, anytime you're in this area, you gotta go. Pick up a musubi from there. I swear there's like some things, they put something in their musubi because it's like the best musubi you'll ever have. And I was telling my mom, I was like, try this. Like, what is different about this musubi? She thinks it's a teriyaki. She thinks it's a teriyaki.
We need to get one after this.
Yeah.
But you're good on the naughty check.
Okay,
Yeah.
I take that. I cannot be talking and then I talking serious to the camera and all of a sudden get naughty in my teeth. They're not gonna take me serious. You know what I mean? The next time you guys go there, you guys gotta get the smoked meat.
Okay.
The smoked meat. I got them last time I was here and brah, it's sweet.
They have so many good like lao all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They'll have like all whatever like local foods. The most
They even get the
random,
pickle
too,
mango
sometimes.
in the
Smoked
fridge. You go in the fridge, they
ahi,
get all kinds of stuff.
Pickle mango, pickle onions.
Bruh, I was telling them, you gotta
now.
have one like that on Oʻahu, because there's not a store like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
7-Eleven, but like
The
Not the same,
local
not the same.
snacks,
Different.
like local food, local snacks. Yeah,
So they
like
get
dry
killed-
fish.
yeah. They kill Car General Store. I live Kapolei. I like make one Kapolei General Store.
It's not gonna be the same as Kilkaha General Store.
It won't, but
You can
Do
try.
it.
what can?
Can.
It's gotta be like a Eva Beach General Store or something like that.
I cannot. All my Kapolei people gonna disown me.
Okay, all right. Well, let's get into the intro.
Hey guys, welcome back to Uncut, the podcast where we talk with Hawaii's top entrepreneurs, creatives, and change makers. I'm Andrew.
I'm Kolby, and we're recording at the beautiful SCP Hotel in Hilo on Merry Monarch Week, and we have a really special guest, Dillon Pakele. He's a singer, songwriter, and probably performing about like a dozen times this week.
Yes, it is Merry Monarch. We're playing everywhere and
all
anywhere.
at the same time. No, thank you so much for joining, flying down
for
a
having
little
me.
early and joining us over here. And
Yeah, thank you for having me on here.
yeah, we've
you.
been meaning to talk story for a while now and just get into all the things. I was texting with your mom, and she was like, oh, it's so cool that you get to record Dillon in Hilo because this island means so much to our ohana. So tell us about that. Like, I know you're Oʻahu boy, but you have plenty connections here.
So technically, I was born here in Waimea,
Oh.
Okay.
but I was only here till I was 2 years old.
It still
So I
counts.
kind of rep Big Island like that because I was only 2 years, you know.
Yeah.
But when I was 2 years old, my dad, he was in a band called the Ehukai. Long story short, he joined a band called the Manaʻo Company, and that's why we moved to Oʻahu. So that's why now I'm on Kapolei boy, from the west side. You know what I mean?
West Side boy.
Gotta represent.
But yeah, my dad's roots are from here, so
Oh, I love
that's
that. That's
part of our
special.
roots is here. So.
Yeah, and you have plenty of ohana here. Your mom's like,
Oh yeah.
don't ask me how you're related, but you're just related.
Hey, we all family.
We all family
We're
over
all
here.
family.
Yeah.
We're all connected somehow.
Yes.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. All right, so grew up Kapolei.
Okay.
Tell us about growing up. I mean, was music always a part of your life? I'm guessing because your dad, but were you playing music your whole life?
For me, music wasn't something I chose to do until I was about. Honestly, when I chose to do music, it was after my father passed away.
Okay, so,
So that's-
your dad,
that's
I was
why.
looking it up and I was like, wow, your dad was young when he passed away.
47.
47.
How old were you when that happened?
I think I was 22 or 23. So I was kind of young too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a crazy time in my life,
So-
in all of our lives.
So before that, you were doing music or?
So, long story short, I went to college up in Nebraska.
Yep.
When I went to school in Nebraska, I went to go play basketball. Long story short, it didn't work out. It was a whole other world, and I wasn't ready for it. I was still up there for another semester. I found somebody that had a studio in their room, and I was like, shoots. They just had like a computer, mic, super simple. And then we recorded like rap music.
Nice.
I did like some singing, some
Right.
rapping.
Okay, give us a little preview of
Oh,
that.
no. You guys don't want to hear that. You guys are going to turn off the podcast. Don't. We're not gonna
Too
do that.
early. Maybe the end.
Long story short, I went I won't go into all of that. My mom heard it and she's rolling her eyes already. For me, that's where it started.
Yep.
I started
Yeah.
recording with my friends in the room. And then at one point, I was just thinking to myself, like, my dad was an entertainer in the industry for a long time in
Yeah.
Hawaii. Why am I recording in Nebraska?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one day I showed my dad all the things and he said, hey, next semester you're coming back home.
Wow.
So I came home and my first song that I ever released, we were recording before my dad even passed. It was my song "Forgive Me." That's the one I got to do at Fiji. We finished all of the song. Even my dad's harmonies are in the song. So before he
wow.
passed, we got all of it
No
inside of the
way.
song. So when you listen to that song, you hear his voice.
Oh.
Another crazy thing about that song, my first song, Uncle Langa Savea was the one that did all the music, and he passed away
Oh,
a year after my dad passed
Oh,
away.
man.
So just two legends that were a part of making that song, and Uncle Fiji as well. So just a lot of power and mana into that song, you know?
That's so crazy that you were all the way out there when you found like your thing that you wanted to pursue. Like if you waited even a little bit longer, like that song wouldn't have had your dad and your uncles in it. Yeah.
One
Isn't
of the
that
things
crazy?
one of the things I learned is that sometimes it takes you being away from the things that you love to realize what you're missing, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And you're away
Like,
from home too, and
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, something in Nebraska is, guys here in Hawaii, we all play the ukulele,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Everybody has a tune in them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in
no,
Nebraska,
at least one song.
Yeah,
during
I don't know
that
why.
year.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Drop,
yeah,
baby,
yeah.
drop.
Yeah,
As long
yeah,
as you
yeah,
can do
yeah.
the as long as you can do that, you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
But in Nebraska, it was a different culture. Like boys they don't sing. And I just was like, that's so weird because in
all
Hawaii we
rap.
take pride in that.
It's all
You know,
about corn out there, huh?
yeah, it's all about corn but for me it was like when I was up there, I just was like I wanted to show them like
Yeah.
I'm proud for sing.
Yeah.
Just because like sing, I like show you that from where we're from, the guys they do sing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got kind of offended about that, you
Yeah.
know. But
Well, but even before that, so growing up, you never felt like your dad never kind of was like, hey, you should jump on the ukulele or
So
like,
he always
sing
tried
with
to like encourage me.
Yeah.
But he never. One of the things that my dad did with his kids was he never forced us to like do music. He wanted us to find it on our own, and that's one thing I'll always appreciate. Because if he forced me, I probably would have fell away from music.
Yeah.
It took me
Yeah,
like
you found it on
finding
your
it.
own, yep.
Being in Nebraska in the middle of nowhere, recording with people I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it took me being there to realize that I love music and that's what I want to do.
And also probably, I mean, not just your dad, but you're probably around like so many just like brilliant musicians. Probably all your uncles, like they're all
Oh,
playing
yeah.
music and you're all around that vibe.
That's something for me I took for granted for most of my life. Like I just was like, oh, they're singing. Like even my dad. Like I never really paid attention. I was more focused on sports and
Yeah.
girls and the normal thing with guys. But when he passed away, it made me realize like, oh, there's so much more to life than the things I was worried about before. Like I was worried about such little things. But
Yeah.
it took me being away.
Who were some of those musicians and bands that you grew up kind of around just because your dad was in the scene?
Manaʻo Company for sure.
Yeah.
They're like an idol to me. I love their music. Uncle Fiji, my dad got to go touring with him, so he's learned a lot from him. For me, Uncle Fiji is the GOAT. He's so much talent, and my dad has just learned a lot from him, and I've learned a lot from my dad because of him.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of bands, but those are the two main bands that I love. Like I've learned, and I aspire to be like them, and make my music go in that direction.
Yeah.
They've they
amazing.
paved the path. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That must have been a fun time growing up with your dad as a musician. I grew up in Ka'u and like my uncles play music and stuff, and you're just like at these parties, and it's just like such a fun, upbringing, just being around music all the time. And
Yeah,
did you
no.
experience that?
I did. My dad was always one where you go to parties and
Yeah.
sing for hours.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
Hanaho, and when they hanaho, you keep going. And man, growing up, I was so irritated sometimes because we'd be at
let's go
parties.
home already.
If the party's 5 to 9, we're not leaving till 11 or 12. I'm like,
I go game tomorrow.
but you know what? More than anything, I wish I could go back to those moments.
Yeah.
Because it's in those moments that he was teaching a lesson. It's time for bless people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what this life is about. It's not about ourselves, it's about blessing others.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
That's beautiful.
That is beautiful. So like now your journey of being a musician, do you feel like, I don't know, not that you're in your dad's shadow, but then it's like part of the introduction. It's like the son of, I mean, how, does that make you feel like pride, or is it like, oh, I can never like be outside of my dad's shadow?
That's a deep question. It was really tough in the beginning. One of the reasons I fell in love with music was to be able to do it with my dad. And when he passed, it was like, what am I doing? How do I do this? He was the person I was leaning on for, you know, Dad, how do I do this? Oh, can you connect me to this person, this engineer? Like, now not having him, what do I do? At the time, when he did pass, I relied on him so much that I didn't know how to do it, but I had a choice. Was I gonna sit there and let the music die there? Or was I gonna pick up the guitar and pick up the mic and figure it out?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it took a choice. And for me, the choice I made was get that guitar, learn one song at a time, learn one vocal at a time. I don't know how to do it, but hey, YouTube is there for a reason, right?
YouTube University.
And also all the people that my dad has been around, they were around to help me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not just in the music, but the business side of it. And not even just that, the spiritual side of music. There's so much to it than what we see on the screen or listen to in our earphones, you know?
Yeah. No, because it's like when you are following in the footsteps of somebody great like your dad, that's like so loved and so known. And then, you know, whenever I see your name anywhere, it's like the son of, you know? So I'm like, I wonder how that felt to be like always as like.
It's definitely a lot of pressure.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing that was really hard in the beginning was my dad was a great performer. So when I play, I felt the pressure of people that have watched him play before.
yeah.
Like the
And when they watch me
expectations.
and the expectation, like, I'm not my dad. I never played for 30 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to learn, but I've had to learn how to be okay with not being dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about being dad. What I've learned is that music is so much more than the vocals that we sing and the instruments that we play. It's the way that we carry ourselves. And what I realize is in my imperfection of not knowing what I'm doing, what I wanted to embody is my dad's personality and the way that he treated people. Because I don't think the music made him special. I think the way that he treated people made him special.
Yeah.
And for me, when you treat people with aloha, people are always going to look at you with love. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you sound a certain way or whatever. You
Yep.
treat them with aloha, they're not going to care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to remember the aloha you give them. And for
That's
me, that
so
was
true.
something my dad always embodied, no matter who it was. Even if you didn't even know the
No
person.
matter how
give
many
aloha.
hanahos.
No matter how many hanahos. We actually get a shirt that Hawaii's Finest did.
Yeah.
On the back of the shirt, my dad used to have this famous saying. It was, what gang? Hanaho. We always tell the crowd that. Huh? We always, like, Hanaho is a big thing. I don't. If they keep going, I keep going. Until I lose my voice, I keep going.
That's amazing. So
Yeah.
like in a way, like you're carrying on his legacy too, through your
Yes.
music and through your performance.
I mean,
And the like just what you said,
The way you
like
carry
who
yourself.
you
Yeah,
are.
exactly. Yeah.
it's definitely something that cannot be done on my own. Like, without my mom. My mom has been a huge help. She's my momager, manager, mama.
Shout out to
Mom.
mom.
Shout out to mom. Without my mom, there's definitely no way that I could be doing this. She is the backbone behind everything. Booking, you know, when it's for me, I'm the type where I like just play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah,
people
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, "Hey, what? You can show up my house and jam." I'm like, "Yeah." And my mom's like, "No."
yeah.
So sometimes she gotta be the one to be like, "Hey, no, you have something next week, Mary Monarch. You gotta save your voice."
Yeah.
So if I don't want her doing that, I'm gonna lose my voice all the time.
Oh, we all need that.
So my mom and also all the uncles, my family, everybody that's in the music industry, everybody has been so supportive. And to
Yeah.
me, that is the only reason why I'm able to sit here and talk on this podcast and even continue to do music, is because they're the people that hold me up.
yeah.
And especially my family. My goal is to, my brother, he lives here in Hilo. And then my sister sings as well. She sings for the Church of Word of Life.
Oh, nice.
No.
But we're
Nice.
all on our own seasons right now, but I'm hoping one day we can come together and do like a family thing.
That's
That
gonna
would be
beautiful.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
I love that your brother and your sister are doing it too. Were they, when your dad was still around, like were they playing and singing too?
So my sister was kind of taking voice lessons so my dad passed in 2020. In like 2018, she started doing voice lessons.
Oh,
so she
okay.
kind of started first.
Yeah.
Okay.
I started in like 2019. I started recording. And then, yeah, I would say my sister, we never really took it seriously, like never like professionally. And now I think it's definitely because of my dad passing, we all feel that kuleana to carry the legacy, right? And at the end of the day, I just hope we can do it as a family one day.
That
I
would
think
be
it would be so
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sick.
When you say 2020, I know that's like 4 years ago, but it still feels like that because of COVID and all that. Like it feels like, wait, we were just in 2020. Like how has it been as far as like moving forward? Not like you move on, but like just moving forward and like that process of like grief and stuff. Like is there anything, if somebody's going through something similar that's like helped you over the last few years?
I'd say something for me is grief is I've never dealt with it until my dad passed in 2020. So
It was the first time you experienced loss.
first time I
like that?
experienced it. But
Yeah.
I guess the advice that I would have for anybody going through it is that nobody's going to understand what you're going through. What that person meant to you is different to anybody else, and how it impacts you is different. So I don't pretend to understand what people are going through when they lose somebody. Like it's like, hey, I can't really explain it. All I can say is that it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's going to be in your own timing that you're going to find how to move forward. And probably the biggest one for me that I've seen is that I've learned is that the people that have passed are not truly gone. They live through us. And I
Yeah.
didn't understand that. People have told me that in the beginning, and I didn't understand what they meant. But really, all the ways that my dad was, showing aloha to people and the characteristics that he had
Yeah.
are now the things that I desire to do. Like simple things, like my dad used to be at like 7-Eleven and he'd see his brother and he would be like, hey, let me buy your food. Simple things like that. Or like, oh, let me go get your gas. Or hold open the door.
Oh, yeah.
Certain little things like that. But
Yeah.
for me, now I see myself wanting to do those things.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for me, like that's how I cope with it.
Yeah.
Is it reminds me of my dad
Yeah.
doing some of the things that he would do. That's one way for me that I've learned to cope with it. I know it's different for everybody, but I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, no, that's good. I know we talked about like grief on an episode. Was it with Ryan?
With Ryan, yeah.
Yeah, because he had lost like 2 family members kind of recently. And it's like so hard when you're seeing it from the outside because like when it's somebody that you love, it's like you want to help them. Like you want to say the right thing or like do the right thing that's going to help them feel better. And it's like you don't want to say the wrong thing. So sometimes you don't even say anything. And Ryan's like, no, just
Just like checking in, yeah.
yeah, I'm here for you. Like, you tell me if there's anything I can do to help you.
Well, something that I've learned from being from the other side of it, of the person, like, you're losing somebody. After my dad passed for like 2 months, there was people that just came to our house. Like, I'm not even kidding. Thousands of people have came into our house. It was crazy.
Was that helpful or was that no?
This is the thing that I've learned is that it depends on the person. For me, I loved it. Like, I loved that people were around. Some people in my family, it was hard because you're trying to grieve. So everybody's different. But something that I loved is that there were certain people in our lives that just came and they just did. Like, they wash our clothes. Like, we just didn't have the power to do anything. Buy our food, you know what I mean? Like, clean the house, wipe the floors. Like, all the
Yeah.
things that we're supposed to do, our brains are turned off in that time.
Yeah.
Like, we're just
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
figure out
Focus
how
on
to
other
move.
things, yeah.
And there's people that just came and they just did it. Like, they didn't
Yeah.
ask us, like, oh, what can we help with? They just did it.
Yeah.
And I know that's not like everybody's situation, but if
Yeah.
you have the will to do it, like, that's the way that I've learned that I'm going to show love. If I love that person and they're going through a tough time, specifically with grief, could be anything, but grief, if it's okay with them, I'll just come clean.
Yeah.
If I'm welcomed in
I
their
love
house
that.
and wash the clothes, fold the clothes, all the
Yeah.
chores that got to get done so that they don't think.
Yeah.
You know, my mom, I think after my dad passed, like, she didn't basically didn't get out of bed for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like it's just, that's the best way I can put it, is just do.
Just do.
Yeah.
Just do. Whatever you can, just do it. Don't ask.
Yeah.
That was one thing for me.
I love that. I've never heard that, but I would, if that were me, I would appreciate that. Because then that's just one less thing that you need to even like have a thought about.
And we might not
think
even
about.
know in the moment. It
Yeah.
wasn't until maybe like months later that we were like thought about it when people were there and we're like, oh, you know, auntie did this and uncle did this.
Yeah.
Like in the moment, we might not notice, but we will eventually when we
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah, when
know
you
what I
think
mean?
about it. I like that you said that, like, it's not just grief too, you know, like, when we had our daughter, like, you know, we were just like trying to like keep this baby alive, and like people would come over and do things like that, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, you don't think about it, but like folding
Not
our
even
clothes,
asking,
Doing
just
the
do it.
just do them,
dishes,
like
yeah.
even just dropping off food, like that was
Yeah.
such a big thing.
Yeah.
Right there, it takes
Yeah,
at least an hour
exactly.
for go pick up your food,
Exactly.
make
Or
the
even-
food,
yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
you know?
So yeah, it means a lot. So yeah, no, I love that. Just do.
Yeah.
Just do.
Yeah.
If
Just
you're
do.
welcome, just do. Yeah.
Yeah, some people just feel like, oh, I don't know what to do, so I'm not even gonna do anything. I'm just gonna like maybe
But
they have.
sometimes that might be the best thing.
Exactly.
It just
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah,
You gotta
exactly.
feel
Yeah, like
them
you
out,
said, it-
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Depends on the situation. Like, especially for our situation, we had like hundreds of people coming into our house. So, you know, people are
Yeah.
walking in the house. It's getting
Yeah, yeah,
dirty.
yeah,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you just use common sense, I guess is the word.
Yeah, yeah. Just
If
trying
it's-
to, yeah.
If there's
trying your
not
best
too
to
much
understand.
going on, okay, maybe space out.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But just depends. Yeah.
Has it been like since your dad is passing, there is that like instant kind of like comparison? I guess people are just naturally gonna be like, oh, Dillon doesn't really sing like him, or like, you know, they'll make the comparisons. Was it hard for you to like kind of start finding your own on stage persona, or was that just come natural?
That's still something I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it got a little less. I think about it a lot less.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was hard because I just didn't know who I was in music. Still trying to
Still
figure it
finding
out, but I
yourself, yeah.
feel like I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer to the sound that I want and the person that I want to be in this industry. Still have a lot to learn, a lot more to go.
Who is that person?
Yeah,
Like, where
how
are
would you describe your
finding-
sound right now? Like
Yeah.
who you are right now as a musician?
It's hard because for me, everything is about my dad and wanting to recreate what I miss. And as far as a sound, my sound is to sound not like my dad, sound like myself, but take some of the things that he loved and put it into my sound, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Manaʻo Company, they loved horns. I love horns in my music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's something my dad loved, it's something that I love. My dad loves harmonies, the spacing of music. There's so many things that he loved that I want to make my sound as well, but then also figure out along the way what is it. I can't really say
Yeah,
exactly
yeah.
what my sound is.
Yeah.
I'm still finding it, but I'd say that it's things that my dad loved that I'm trying to put into it, if that helps answer
Yeah,
the
like
question.
integrating all of that together.
Yes.
And you gotta
So,
bring in some of that rap too from back in the day.
I don't know about rap. I feel like I have an
Hey, like-
okay rap voice, but
Right,
I feel like-
your old roommates are gonna listen to this and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull up those recordings."
I have nothing to say to that. Please don't.
Please don't.
Please, nah,
Please
nah.
don't.
Yeah, that's so hard. Even as like that already without the pressure of like living up to somebody like and being your dad. Like already there's that like as an artist, everybody kind of goes through that. Like who am I? Like what's the unique thing about me?
Oh yeah,
You
I'd
know?
say that like in the music industry, I've realized how hard it is to find who you are and your sound, and
Yeah.
how much artists actually want to be artists.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
to do that in the sea of all these artists is like, how do you find your niche?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm still trying to figure it out, but at the same time, I think I've realized that it sounds cliche, but like you really just have to be yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's that
Totally.
simple
Yeah.
because you're gonna have people that are gonna like you, you're gonna have people that don't like you, and you're gonna have people that don't care. That's the reality
Yeah.
of it, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And all you gotta do is focus on the people that do like your music.
Mm-hmm.
Don't focus on the haters. And the people that don't like it, maybe you can turn them to liking
Yeah,
your music.
yeah.
But just make your music, be yourself. Don't try to be somebody you're not. I see a lot on social media, you know, like when I see somebody in person, they act this way, and then on social media, they act something
Yeah.
different. For me, I just want to be the same that I am on Instagram,
Yeah.
the same in person.
Yeah.
That's like
Authentic.
key for me. Because whenever you see people that are like that on
Authenticity,
Instagram and they're famous, whatever, they're like the same in person. Maybe not everybody,
It's such a
Yeah, yeah.
but the people that I
turn-off.
look up to,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
they're the same in person.
yeah, it's
I
like so
respect
cool, yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yes.
Respect, that's the thing, because it's like, oh, you sold me on this person that you are on TV and on Instagram or whatever, and then like here you are in front of me and like you're not that person. Yeah.
No, and for me, it's like whoever you are on the stage, when you step off the stage, again, same thing, should be the same.
Yeah.
If you give aloha on the stage, okay, when you're on this off talking to your fans, whatever it is,
Same thing.
aloha, same thing.
Yeah. And you saw
Whether
it
you know the
modeled-
person or not, like just aloha.
Yeah, and you saw that modeled from a young kid, like with your dad. So
I'd say this: me and my dad have argued a lot in our lifetime. We'd bump heads.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, I think I was paying attention.
Uh-huh.
And man,
are you the oldest?
I'm not. So there's my sister Kamale, she's the youngest, Kaulana Pakele. Then me, Dillon Pakele. Then my brother Kaulana Pakele. My dad had a son before he had us two.
Okay.
Kamale and Dillon, right? Me. And then my mom had another daughter, Chantil.
Okay.
Long story short, we have 4 of us all together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like the. Wait,
I'm like the
are you're
middle
the
young.
Yeah,
Middle
yeah,
young.
yeah.
Middle youngest.
Middle
Yeah.
of the youngest. Yeah.
Oh, okay, but is it because you and your dad were like similar? Is that why you guys butt heads?
Yes, we're similar. But different in our ways, but similar enough for bump heads. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
But I
every-
think for me, I was really hard head back then. And I was very, the best way that I could put this was uncoachable, if that makes
Oh.
sense. Like when I played sports.
But you're an athlete.
Well, exactly. So for me, like when I was in sports, I didn't listen. I was hard head.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of opportunities that I had in sports that if I worked harder and listened, I would have did better things.
Uh-huh.
But for me, when my dad passed, that's when I switched my whole life around. Like I was a different person back then. Him passing made me want to change the person that I am and be more like how he is. So yeah, I can't say that I was always aloha all the time. I know I was kind of different before, but definitely made the changes.
That's okay. It's part of growing up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
it's
life,
like
yeah.
that's totally so many people's stories. Like you just don't really know what you have until you lose it sometimes.
Yes, I
Yeah.
never understood that
Yeah.
until my dad passed, and I was like, wow,
Changes
that's
your
what that
perspective,
means.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you don't know what you have until you don't have it anymore, until it's absent.
Yeah.
I think death is definitely the hardest thing that somebody can go through. I thought a breakup was hard. Oh my goodness, there's nothing on it. I get a couple songs that are breakup songs, and I was like, oh man, these songs is, bruh, death is a whole nother, bruh. But no, it's true, and it made me it reshaped my whole life. So, as much as I wish my dad was here, I believe that everything happens for a reason, and it was his time to go. And I believe that his death ultimately made all of us when I mean all of us, I mean my family, for the people that loved him, and anybody that was a fan of him, made us rise. Because without him here, it felt like, oh, there's not like Kaulana, Uncle Kaulana. Like everybody called him Uncle Kaulana. He's not here anymore.
Yeah.
So now it's our kuleana to carry what he's taught us.
Yeah.
And him not being here forced us to do it.
Yeah.
Step
No.
out of our comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
Especially-
it's a
yeah.
good way to look at it, though. You know, I mean, it's like such a positive way to look at something that's so hard.
I didn't look at it that way in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
I've had to learn that.
Can you think about, like, if you go back to like when your dad was playing and performing, one concert or performance that like really sticks out to you, and then what's one for yourself where you like found yourself on this stage, and like what's one iconic performance for your dad and then for you?
I can't say for my dad that I have a specific performance, but he would always take me backstage at the concerts
nice,
and
yeah.
stuff. So I could speak in a collective of all those memories. That being backstage, meeting all the uncles, and my dad would always be like, hey, this is my son. And then we had all of my other siblings too, like, introduce us to everybody. They don't know who we are, you know?
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah.
as kids. But he would always make us feel special and make sure,
Yeah.
like, hey, this is my son, this is my daughter, whatever, blah, 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 blah. To answer your other question, a moment for me that was really chicken skin. I don't know all the info to it, but it is a chicken skin moment. I think it was just last year or the year before, I played at the show for the first time.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
The first time that I played at the show, I was 25. On the same exact date, my dad played at the show for the first time on the same date and age that I was.
No.
Yes.
Oh, I just got to this kid.
I gotta find the picture and I'll
That's
send it to you guys
crazy.
so you can like whatever
Yeah,
put it
yeah,
up. But the same exact date, the same time, whatever.
Same
it was
age.
same age.
That's crazy.
No way.
All the info lined up, and it was like, how did that line up?
Wow.
What?
I gotta find it. It's on my Instagram on the archives. I
That's
posted
so
it and I was
nice.
just
Yeah.
tripping out. I couldn't even believe it. I'll find it and I'll send it to you guys.
Did you
but,
know that
yeah.
going into that
No,
performance?
I didn't know till after. Because my mom found a picture or something, and on the picture, you
The
know, the old
date,
pictures
yeah,
get the
date.
dates,
Yeah.
right? Then the orange letters.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
it had the date on it, and we're like, "Are you kidding me?"
Whoa,
Yeah,
that's
it was the
crazy.
first time I ever played. I think it was with Manaʻo Company too. I jumped on the stage with them.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
Whoa.
and
Crazy.
I don't know what we sang. I think it was 96 degrees.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like one of the most chicken skin moments. I didn't know it, till after.
Yeah.
But after it meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? To be like, wow, we jumped on the stage at the same time.
Dang. That's like
Same stage.
Same
Whoa.
stage at the
That's
show.
crazy. All the
Yes.
detail, everything. Wow.
I'll find the video.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'll send
yeah,
it to
yeah.
you
No,
guys,
that's
so.
amazing.
But that would have to be one of the biggest moments for me, like being on the show, like looking at that crowd.
Yeah.
I got to see what he was looking at all these years.
That's even more
know?
like just
Yeah.
being on stage at the show must have been like a huge deal. But then to think like, dang, it's like almost like a time warp or something. That's so crazy.
And we've been to countless. Sorry, I'm Samoan. I fumble my words sometimes. We've been to countless concerts where we're at the show and we watch, Manaʻo Company on the stage. And
Yep.
it just was so crazy to flip the script. Boom,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the crowd right
Yeah,
here,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is what my dad was seeing all these years.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah. I love the sounds of this hotel.
I know everyone's
yeah.
coming in, especially at the beginning of Mary Monarch.
Mary Monarch is
Yeah.
the ultimate networking time. It's the time for talk story, and you don't know who you're gonna bump into.
Yep.
You
Be
have
ready.
no idea. You just gotta talk story and
Yep.
hey, just be yourself.
Tell us your experience at Mary Monarch.
Oh
Yeah.
man, last year honestly was my first year
Yeah.
where I came here and I fell in love with Mary Monarch. The time,
Yeah.
just like everybody being here. Last year was the first year I started playing music
Yeah.
and like going
Yeah.
to all these things, and I
Uh-huh.
realized like, wow, there's so much things going on.
Yeah.
It's not just Mary Monarch. There's all kinds of things around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And just everybody's here. And
Yeah.
for me, like that is my favorite memories, is like being here and just really just talking story with people. That's the special thing about this time.
Yeah.
Is the people.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something magical about Mary Monarch Week. It's just like in the air, and it's only Monday. Today is Monday, but it's like you can kind of feel it starting. Like you see
Yeah.
like people coming
Yeah.
in, like flying in.
Just a
and
few
like,
hours.
The
You've
energy
been
is just,
here.
it's
Yeah.
just up already.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can feel them.
Yeah.
And Hilo in general, like you come here any day of the year,
Yeah.
it's a magical place. I can't explain it. Anytime I get off the plane and I land here, I just feel like I'm in another
Yeah.
space.
Breathe,
I'm just
yeah.
relaxed. I feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't live here, so I don't know for the Hilo people how you guys feel. But for me, not living here, like, special place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know.
One of the things I like to see, I know Capano plays on Thursday. They have the song Hilo Rain, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's always been a dream of mine to sit in the concert and watch them play. And
In
for it to
Hilo,
be in
and
Hilo,
then for it to start
and it
raining.
starts
and then
raining.
feel the rain. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I'd
yeah.
lose my mind.
You just gotta get out
Manifest it,
there.
yeah, yeah. It's
get
gonna
out there and
happen.
start dancing in the Hilo
Yeah,
rain.
yeah,
Is what
yeah.
you gotta do. Oh, I love it. I know.
What are you most excited for this week besides that Hilo rain moment?
Honestly,
That's gonna happen.
one of my favorite moments is actually this week. My dad's birthday is on Wednesday.
Oh,
And so
Wow,
we're
that kickoff,
actually,
yeah.
April 3rd is his birthday. So
Oh,
we're going to go to
that's
Cronies
special.
and we're going to have some of the uncles come and we're just going to jam from 6:30 to
Oh,
8:30.
nice.
So, and then we also spread my dad's ashes at Puhi Bay. So Sunday is our last day here. We're going to just spend the day over there and just cruise and, be by
Yeah.
him over there. So.
yeah. Oh, that's special. Okay, wait. I gotta like map out my week. Like, okay, wait. Wednesday.
You guys
it's a
going to be
big
here the whole
day.
week?
Only
I'll-
her. I might have to fly back now. I know. Bree said she would give me a room. Shout out to Bree.
Let's
He's
go.
gonna be staying in the yoga room over there.
Yeah.
I know. Like, there's so many things. Like, there's so not just like the Hilo people too. It's like so many people fly into Hilo. Entertainers are flying in. Vendors are flying in, and it's just.
And it's like
such
all
a fun
all
vibe.
aspects of the culture,
Yeah.
not just the hula or the music. it's like the small business owners.
Right,
the
even the
artists.
food.
Yeah, the
The
Because
food.
we get all kind of food.
Oh man, the food. Even like like the craft fairs and stuff. It's like
Yeah.
so fun to see the new designers and how
Mm-hmm.
they honor hilo and honor hula and honor culture. It's like I just love like saving all my money from Merry Monarch.
Oh yeah, and sometimes it's just one of one. You know what I mean? They only
Yeah,
sell them
exactly,
during Merry
yeah.
Monarch, so you
Yeah.
can only find it here during this week.
I
Yeah,
know.
because they spend
I
all
know.
year working for these, like building their inventory for these 3 days.
So save up your money. Come Merry Monarch. Spend your money on the small businesses,
Yeah.
please.
Support local.
Hawaiian Airlines, they're providing like shuttle service
Okay.
to like fly in, just go to the craft fairs, and then they're like providing free transportation.
Oh
to
wow.
get-
Hey,
Yeah.
Hey.
not just in the air, but on the land too. Oh, me. Gonna be Hawaiian
Shout
Air.
out to
Gonna be
Hawaiian
Hawaiian.
Airlines.
I don't
They
know,
sponsor
man.
us too.
Hawaiian land.
Hawaiian land.
No. What are you most looking forward to? Like, is there any event that you're looking forward to the most? So you're playing all over the place this week.
Shucks, this week at about 9 different places we playing.
Yeah.
Here at SCP.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a bunch of people playing here
Is
in the
this on
front
Friday?
lobby. Friday and
And
Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Kimie is gonna be here. Paula usually comes. Is she
Alafunga.
coming?
Nice.
Yeah.
I think Kaulana Pakele gonna be
Oh,
here.
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Just everybody. The Southern Rush gonna be here. So,
Nuh-uh.
yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's
they get
why
the
it
whole
is-
lineup online. So
that's why it's cool. Like you're gonna just reconnect with people like you haven't
I
seen in a while. It's really
know.
Oh,
a
yeah.
great time.
You know what'd be really cool? Because we had Isaiah Tavares
Okay.
on here. I was like, you
Oh,
guys are
God.
like the next generation. You know, I was like, oh man, you guys should collab and do something all together.
that is the goal. There's a lot of projects that I have in mind that we have kids of all
Of the
So
legends.
my dad,
Yeah.
my dad started off with the
Yes.
group Ehukai, and
Yeah.
they're the ones that did Molokai Slide.
Yep.
Yep.
We want to do another version of Molokai
Hey.
Slide with
Nice.
the kids. And then Manaʻo Company, there's a bunch of kids
Yep.
from all the musicians.
Yep.
But if we were to redo like,
Yeah.
96
96
degrees,
degrees,
yeah.
redo Sweet Reggae Woman, Roots
Yeah.
Rockin'.
Wow.
What if we did it with the kids?
Yeah.
I don't want to dive too much into that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
a
yeah.
little sneak
Little
peek
teaser,
of
little teaser.
some thoughts,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it'd be really cool to do that with the next generation.
Yeah, that's so cool that there's so many of you carrying it on. Because even like when we were talking with Isaiah, he's like, it's not even just him. It's like a bunch of the others from like the original group that they're all
Yes.
still together. I'm like, oh, that's so.
That would be really sick. Hey, if you're listening to this, Isaiah, I'm down. Let me know.
Hey, we're planting
go.
the seed right here. We're planting the
go.
seed right here.
We go.
Let's
make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Going off.
Hey, we get studio in my house. Come.
Open invitation. Huh?
I love that. Look, the
Oh,
Hilo
the Hilo
Rain
Rain.
Rain.
on cue.
Hey.
Me. Dancing in the Hilo Rain.
That's it.
Little teaser for you right there.
But you guys
Little
probably
blessing.
can hear them in the back.
Yeah, no, it's pretty
coming
loud.
down
Yeah.
hard. See, it's the blessings
Yeah.
Mean.
kicking off this week. So you brought your guitar.
I did.
Do you want to play
Should
a
I-
little something for us?
Yeah. Let me just like
Yeah, let's just
pick
let's
this up
cue
real
it up
quick.
real quick. We can. Oh, it's loud.
Holy.
Coming down.
Wow, the rain. Hey, they heard the podcast. They said,
You want some Hilo Rain? Here you go.
here we go. That might sound a little better right there. Yes, sir. Makena Maduli in the building.
Told you, everybody's here.
Everybody's here.
Everybody's here. Well, this song, since we were talking about my dad a lot in this podcast, let's start with the song that started it off for him. And it was the song called The Molokai Slide.
Yes.
So maybe just do
Classic.
part of it because
Okay.
it's kind of a long song.
Yeah. We'll do a little teaser.
Yes, على الملقى. I like the sand spreading out to the sea. I like the tropical moon and the lazy palm trees. I like to listen to my heart. There's no place I'd rather be. I like the people, I like the way they smile. I like the feeling of it on this paradise isle. I like the cool island gecko. Man, this is where I wanna be. You guys can jump in too if you want on the spot.
Turn my
So
mic
take
down.
me back, back
to the gun, take me back. Back to the gun, all over Mobile, Molokai. I will return. They'll be crying, take me back. Back to the gun, take me back. Back to the gun, all over Mobile, Molokai. I will return.
Just part of the song.
Hanaho. Hanaho. We're gonna keep Hanahoing till tonight, huh? He said it. He said it, man.
There's actually another song that I just released. I got the chance to do it with Jordan T.
fun.
It was a song that I wrote in Nebraska, and I didn't release it until 6 years
Recently.
later. Recently,
Wow.
I wrote it in Nebraska. I wasn't gonna do anything with it, and
Was it about a breakup?
no. Actually, the song's called "From the Islands." So
Oh,
it was
nice.
about me being homesick.
Homesick.
And it was when I came back from my first semester, I came home and I was like, oh, I have to go back for second semester. I was like,
Dreading it, yeah.
oh man,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the whole plane ride going there, we had a talent show that was in Nebraska.
Yeah.
I wrote it for the talent show, recorded it, and then I never did anything with it because I thought it sounded corny. Long story short, I work with YK as an ambassador, the
Yeah.
water company, and they wanted to do a song. And I said, I might have a crazy idea. What about this one? I showed it to them. They loved it. We recorded it and we released it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
It's a song called "From the Islands." We'll do like a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
hear. We
yeah.
gotta hear it now.
I don't even know if I remember how to play
Oh.
my own song because. Let's see.
Pull up the lyrics.
Oh,
Oh,
Hawaiian
we got the
Airlines.
plane.
Hawaiian
Hawaiian
Airlines.
Airlines. Well, we're gonna break away for a little, little the kind commercial.
sponsor.
Commercial.
Oh, that was a loud one too.
Okay, we're ready.
Chilling on the island where I used to play. My sisters and brothers, they came and they stayed. My home is so far away from where I used to be. But no matter where I go, I'll take my home with me. I'm from the islands with beautiful valley. The green grass, the hula, the island food. More brothers and sisters to come home to. I'm from the island with beautiful beaches. The people and the island vibe. Nothing like home at any time. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Little sneak peek of a song called "From the Islands." Jordan T.
Oh, I love that. I can't believe you held out on that song for so long.
Well, when I first wrote it, it was a little corny on the ukulele. My voice was a little high, so I just didn't see what
Yeah,
it could
yeah,
sound
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
It took YKL really. They had faith in it,
Yeah.
and I will forever be grateful for them having faith in that.
Nice,
so
nice.
thank you, YKL.
Hey, timing works out
Yeah.
all the time.
That's
Yeah.
like so classic. That should just be playing right now because it's like.
What's really cool because this song the reason why I'm gonna be performing at the fashion show this
nice. One of
tomorrow.
the songs.
It's one of the
Is that
songs
one
for
of
the
the-
fashion
oh,
show.
okay, cool.
And then there's a festival it's in Cali, I believe. Shucks, I don't know the name of it. Sorry if you're watching this.
Mama Jer.
Mama Jer. Cut. I think it's Flavors of Aloha. They just started last year. They're using it as their festival song.
Nice.
wow.
See?
But they don't want it just for 1 year. They want it forever.
Oh, see,
Wow.
that's
And
crazy.
it's just crazy how everything just like you just never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
with music, you have to just put it out. You be yourself.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna like it. Some people are not.
Yeah. That's
Some
exactly what
people
you're
are
saying.
gonna hate it. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you don't know who is gonna like it.
Yeah.
And for me, I thought it was corny, but not everybody thinks it's corny.
Yep.
It's not about what you think. Sometimes it's about what your music can do for other people.
That's
Okay,
powerful.
so when you say like what your music can do for other people, I'm sure people have like reached out to you and been like, your music touched them a certain way or reminded you of a certain person? Like, can you think of any stories, like, just off the top of your head, like, of how you just
Yeah.
putting yourself out there, singing your music has, like,
Spreading the word,
touched somebody?
I have two. So one is a song called "Forgive Me." Long story short, that song was a really hard one for me to put out. That was the first one
was
that
your
I
first
did with
song,
my
yeah, with your
dad,
dad,
and but the story behind that song is the truth that I wanted to share to help people to not make the same mistake I did. And the song is called "Forgive Me." It's about me cheating in a past relationship and not making the pono choice. And for me, I wanted to put that out there because at the end of the day, I realized that it wasn't worth it. It wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, at the end of the day, like 2 years later, I wrote the song because
Yeah.
it haunted me 2 years later.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in that relationship anymore, and
Yeah.
it still bothered me. And for me, like, I wanted for share, even though it's like personal, my personal things that I go through may inspire somebody to not make that same decision. And I've had some people that told me like, hey, you know, thank you for sharing that. I was going through this and your song made me change my mind. I had another song called "Nothing Now," and that song was about a breakup. And a lot of people, for me, that was another song I thought was, I love it, but like I feel like has a corny vibe to it too. So sometimes I don't like playing it all the time. But then people will. I've had like somebody a couple weeks ago. They came up to me and they're like, "Nothing Now. You're the guy that sings that song. Got me through such a tough time. You don't understand."
yeah.
I listened to it over and over and over, and
Yeah.
it made me realize it's not about me.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not about what I think. I think that music. My dad one time was talking to Uncle Fiji, and my dad shared this with me that Uncle Fiji said he doesn't write the music. The music comes to him, and he just writes it down. It's
Yeah.
not from him.
Yeah.
It's
So
getting
if you
dropped
think
to
of
him.
it that way, then you have to put it out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes,
it's like
it's your kuleana
you
to
can't
do it.
even block. If you're blocking it, you're like not doing it justice. Reason it got like put into your brain is like for somebody out there who needed it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about everybody else around you. You don't know who it's gonna help.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you have no idea what your talent can do, what it can bring to the world, and how it can heal people. You don't
That's
know.
so good.
Facts.
Facts. Quotable.
And you
It's
guys
gonna
get
be
to
an
talk to
Instagram
all
reel.
these people that have all their talents. All of them can change the world, literally, one person at a time.
Yeah. No, we were talking with. I'm trying to.
Go ahead,
You
go
can
ahead.
cross McKenna.
Yes, sir.
Hey, McKenna, that's McKenna.
McKenna will do it, guys. McKenna will do it. Yes, sir.
Round 2.
No, it's so. We were talking with Kaulana, and she was saying like how it's like really cool to be able to make music that ends up being like the soundtrack to people's childhood or their wedding or their relationship.
The season of their life.
Yeah, it's like so it becomes their song.
Yep.
Well, the thing that I like to say is like when you make a song, it's kind of like, I don't have any kids, so I don't know if I can say this, but it's like having a baby. Like you are responsible
Yep.
for that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that, whatever that baby does, that's your responsibility. That's your kuleana. Like with that song, "Forgive Me," for me, like something that I do with my music is that if I put out something and there's a lesson in it, then I should be living by it. If I'm gonna put out a song about "Forgive Me," then I should never be doing that again.
Yeah.
Because
Right,
if I
right.
do that again, then I kind of sing that song.
Yeah.
Because I'm lying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not authentic anymore.
You
at that
gotta be
point.
about your music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot put out a lesson that you're not about.
Yeah.
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 You know?
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. It's deep.
Yeah, that is deep.
But I love what Kaulana
Yeah.
said. That's awesome because really the soundtrack of people's lives. You don't know what you
Yeah.
sing could literally help somebody not do bad things,
Yeah.
to make the right choice. It really is. It has that power.
Yeah, I mean, for all the people that actually do reach out to you and tell you, you know, like your music has helped me or whatever, there's like hundreds others that don't, you know, you will never know. But then just putting it out there, it's like, you just
I think it's
let it have a
also
life of its own.
A collective kuleana. Like I'm not gonna reach everybody in the world.
Yeah.
Kaulana's not gonna reach everybody in the world. I mean, maybe Kapeno they reach everybody in the world. But I'm just saying, as artists, like we have a kuleana as a collective that we're gonna reach all different platforms of people, and we're gonna reach people that some people cannot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be some people that I cannot, some people that Kaulana cannot, but she's gonna reach those people. I'm gonna reach these people,
Yeah.
and together we're trying to reach everybody.
Yeah.
So it's not about us, one person reaching the world. It's about all of us affecting the world. Especially
Yeah.
here in Hawaii, like all of us, you know,
We know each other somehow.
Yeah.
There's some kind of
Yeah.
connection.
We're all trying to help
Yeah,
out. We're
yeah,
all trying to do our part.
And some people will go through seasons of like listening, like binging your music, and then they'll like binge Kaulana's. Is there anybody right now that you're listening to?
I am a huge fan of Johnny Sweet. I love you,
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Sweet to me is my favorite performer. He can he dance on the stage. He'll jump up and down.
Yeah.
I love his energy, and like he's in our generation as well.
Yeah.
So like he's the one. To me, he's one of the guys that's leading the way right now in our generation. And him
That's
as a
awesome.
performer, he brings a different intensity to the stage.
Yeah.
He played football, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
he brings
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like football, Ray Lewis, dancing,
yeah.
Bruno Mars on the stage. So I really look up to you, bro. If I never told you that, I'm telling you right now.
It's recorded.
That's a good shout out.
It's
Captured.
recorded. It's never going anywhere else.
How about from like the generation like before you that I mean you already mentioned a bunch like Fiji, but then like anybody now that you're like, oh man, he's like whatever.
I'd say since we're on the topic of talking about Kaulana, Uncle Kelly Boy has been somebody for me that like I really look up to, not just as a musician and what he's done for the music here and in the world, but like just him as a person. I really look up to him and his faith. I just really look up to him just for everything. So Uncle Kelly Boy is a big one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he's doing like he has like a podcast.
Yeah, I saw
I
that.
know.
Yeah, he's doing a
He's
lot.
really
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
his story.
yeah.
Look at him.
You guys gotta have Uncle Kelly
Yeah,
Boy
we-
on
I
here.
know.
Yeah.
We'll
Uncle
make
Kelly
it
Boy.
happen.
It's gonna happen.
Can. Please.
We'll come back on Thursday.
Thursday during the Hilo rain.
Oh, and then his kids are all doing music too,
And his grandchildren.
and his
Yes.
He had his
Yeah.
grandson.
Yeah.
Is it? And I think it's Uriah is his name. But he
On the
plays
drums.
drums.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah.
That's
10 years
crazy,
old,
yeah.
11 years old. I'm not sure, but that's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I love that.
You know, at 10 years old, you know what I was doing? Not that.
Not that.
I'm proud of you, bro. That's awesome. I trip
Oh
out.
man,
trip
now
out.
that's like 3 generations, and they all
Yes.
get to play
All on
together.
one stage.
I love it.
But I think that Kapena, them doing that, inspired all of us. Like for me now, that's what I want to do with my brothers and sisters. That's what I want to do with my grandkids. You know, when I have
Yeah.
grandkids, if they never do that, then how do we have that dream too?
Yeah.
You know, so you guys created that dream. Thank you so much.
It's okay. You can just volunteer them to do it. Sometimes you just have to.
What's on the horizon for you?
Yeah.
Like,
What
know,
are you looking forward to this
Yeah.
year?
Well, for me, I want to, like I was telling you guys, I want to do those collab projects. My dad played with, again, Ehukai, do something with them. Manaʻo Company would be so cool to do something with the kids.
Yep.
My dad also played with this group called High Risk. They did this song called Chillaxin.
Oh yeah.
We're thinking about remaking the song.
Nice.
Ooh.
So there's just a bunch of remakes, and then there's also a project that I want to do called Legacy. I haven't really gotten into the studio yet with it, but I want to create that project and do more original music. I think that it's important to do covers and stuff, but it's also important to have your own original stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, that's kind of the two things that I'm working on is like those remakes of songs that I want to do, but at the same time, my own original stuff. So I'd say in the next year or two, just being in the studio and just grinding out.
That's exciting.
It's really exciting. I'm always so amazed by like we've had like a bunch of musicians on here, and it's like the life of a musician is tough. It seems like.
It's tough, but the thing I realized is that we cannot skip any seasons. Your seasons is what makes your music. I think the first time I noticed that, I went to the BET. They had their 30th year reunion. I think it was last year. Long story short, I was looking at them on the stage, and I just had this big realization that this is their moment. They worked hard for 30 years.
Yeah.
This is their time to shine.
Yeah.
We live in a generation, in a time where social media tells us that we have to be this person, the man,
Yeah, like
whatever
overnight
it is.
success kind. Yeah.
You gotta always be winning all the
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right? For me, in that moment, I realized that it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's about losing. Sometimes it's about learning. Sometimes it's about all the other. You cannot skip any of that.
Yeah.
Instagram just wants us to post like our winning stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
But don't forget that the losing and the learning, not losing, learning. We
lessons,
never lose,
yeah,
we learn,
yeah,
right? But the learning that we go through is so important for our music and for anything in life.
Yeah.
I think no matter what we do, the lessons that we do are the most important things.
Yeah.
That's what's going to create your meaning, your purpose, your music. like dad passing away for me, that became a purpose for me. I couldn't skip that lesson. As
Yeah.
hard as it was, I had to go through it. And that gave
Yeah.
me purpose.
Yeah.
So it's in our trials and errors that's when our music is born.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes we try to go on this fast path to be like, oh yeah, right here, write this, put out 20 songs in 1 year. When sometimes it may be just do 1 song in a year, 2 songs in a year, because sometimes that's your season of life.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not about just like trying all kinds of stuff, seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Just because Instagram tells us to do that.
Yeah.
I'll stop
No,
there.
that's good.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I mean,
That's a
it's
great
just,
perspective. Yeah.
I feel like so many people can relate to that, even if they're not a musician, like entrepreneur or
Everything.
creator
Yeah.
or
Doesn't
anything,
matter.
a dad, mom.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, yeah.
We
it's
talk
not-
about that in like a bunch of other episodes too, where it's
Yeah.
like you only see the wins on social media, and it's like you gotta remember that these people worked hard to get to that point. You know.
Yeah, BET 30 years.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been 30 years of wins.
Well, when I see that, for me, what I realize is like, this is my time to celebrate them right now.
Yeah.
Then you go into your lane and you work hard, but this is their moment. Don't try to take any of that.
Yeah.
Like, that's their moment.
Yep.
I think it was Kavau's 20th year reunion and Bumblebee's 25th. They worked
Oh,
very hard for
Bumblebee.
this moment.
Yeah.
This is their moment.
Yeah.
Your moment will come.
Yeah.
There's a time to win. There's a time to learn.
Yeah.
Don't skip it.
Yeah.
When it's your time to win, embrace it. Okay. When it's
Yeah.
your time to learn, embrace that too.
Yeah.
know?
Actually go through that and like feel the feels and like feel the defeat. If you know, just like don't try to, I think we're so, we don't like pain and we
Yeah.
don't like discomfort. And so sometimes we'll like rush through it just to get through it, you know, or just distract ourselves and
Or we think that
You know?
people, like, we have to be perfect. Like, we don't.
minimize
That's just
it.
something that, like, Instagram tells us. Not just Instagram, but just social media in
Yeah.
general. Like, it just makes you feel like, oh, I gotta be perfect every day.
Yeah.
When really, like, we don't have to.
Yeah. We
There's
like
beauty.
authenticity.
What is that
we
song?
want.
J. Cole said, there's beauty in the struggle. I know that's
yeah,
not what he
yeah,
exactly meant, but there really
Yeah.
is beauty in the struggle.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of things, you know, we're not meant to be perfect.
Yeah.
And I think it's the people that realize that sooner are the people that they take off because they're
Yeah.
not worried about all the
Yeah.
things.
Just gotta embrace it.
Embrace it.
I love
Learn
that.
from it.
The biggest lessons are learned in adversity.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
know
you
you have a
guys.
busy schedule, so thank you for
I
making
know. This is
time.
just the beginning of the week. We're excited for
Let's
you.
go.
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah I gotta
psyched.
come back.
So fun. Thank you so much for joining us. How can people find you?
If you follow me on Instagram, I keep everything updated on there. Dillon Pakele, Dillon Pakele. Follow me on there. And if you go on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, I got some of my content, some of my songs we're talking about from the islands is on there.
Nice.
And some of my new things that are going to be coming out. You can check it out over there.
Nice.
Yeah, stay tuned. He teased a lot of exciting collaborations. So
Oh,
It's gonna be a big year.
Let's make it
Let's
happen.
go.
Let's
2024,
go.
2025, we're going to be in the studio.
Yes. Studio season.
yeah.
All right.
go.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for following, liking, subscribing. Please keep doing that. Share it with a friend. Aloha, guys. See you next time.
Have a good
Hello.
one.
All right.